There are some insane items in Assassin's Creed Shadows that can make the game a cakewalk for absolutely everyone. Whether you are a seasoned Assassin's Creed player or a newbie at the franchise, this guide will show you how to rip through the whole map with no effort whatsoever. Today we are focusing on the best and easiest to play with build that you will ever need for Yasuke. For this build we are going to be using the sheeted attack almost 100% of the time. When it comes to skills, we want to spend as little mastery points as possible. I'll explain why later in the video. Quick disclaimer here, there are better builds in the game, but this one is certainly the easiest to play with. So if you want to rip your way through the game, clean out some castles and hunt secret organizations with ease, this is the build for you. For the main weapon we are going to use the Loyal Traveler's Long Katana. You can find it right here in the hidden chest and key. Go to the Kamikura Shrine viewpoint, take this path and it will lead you directly to the chest. This katana comes with a perk that turns every sheeted attack into a postured attack and makes enemies vulnerable with it. As a bonus, it comes with a great amount of posture DPS. Another item required is the Claw of the Tides obtained from the hidden chest located at Wakasa in the Uchinaka burrows near the river. We will not use this weapon for combat purpose, instead we are acquiring it for its beneficial perk that allows instant charging of posture attacks after hitting an enemy with a posture attack. In short, you are going to use a sheathed attack, which on itself is a posture attack now. Then you're going to use another sheathed attack, and automatically after that charge with another posture attack. So yeah, it's an easy 2-button combo. Hold block, then light attack, then again block, and then light attack. So on and so forth. The helmet that we are going to use for this one is the Red Dragon helmet in combination with the perk that comes with the Elegant Samurai hat. The Red Dragon helmet heals us for 33% on a weak point attack, of which there are gonna be plenty, while the Elegant Samurai hat perk reduces the damage taken by 5% for each enemy that we are in combat with. Now this one's a bit tricky since you get the Red Dragon helmet with the digital deluxe edition of the game and cannot acquire it in the open world. But on the plus side, I'm sure it's going to pop up in the Shadows Exchange store eventually, so be sure to grab it for keys as soon as it does, since it is pretty important for the build. It makes it so that you're almost all the time at 100% health, no matter how many enemies you face. If you don't have it, however, it is not a big deal since you will still end up having quite a lot of health at the end. Just be sure to grab it if it pops up in the store. In the meanwhile, use something with a good defensive perk instead and you'll be completely fine. The Elegant Samurai hat is located right here in the bandit camp in Yamato, just shy of the Takatori Kakurega. To get it, you just need to take out some bandits and loot the chest. The Samurai Daimyo armor is the way to go for this build. It is truly, as its name says, a legend itself. In my personal experience, it is the single best armor for Yasuke that you can get in the game, period. Its perk increases your damage output by a whopping 75% while capping your health at 25%. And yes, the 25% health thing does seem a bit dangerous, but don't worry about it since it gets completely negated by the helmet and another item on this list that I will get to a bit later in the video. You can get this one pretty early on into the game for completing Kanki Castle in Harima. For its secondary engraving we are gonna use the perk from the Master Archer outfit just for a bit more power when it comes to ranged attacks, as it gives us 200% more damage while out of combat. At last we have arrived at the core piece of our build. The trinket is the bread and butter of the build, as it increases our damage by an absurd amount and it gives us enormous amounts of health, so much so that it's going to completely offset the drawback from the chest armor. Kitsune's trickery is the way to go, as it gives us 1% health per mastery point spent in Samurai. You get this one pretty early on into the game from the Twisted Tree quest. As you level up, this trinket gets more and more value, stacking up to a significant amount and making you pretty much unkillable along the way. Masakaro's Vengeance is the second trinket that we will use for this build, and it's pretty insane. Remember before when I told you that we are going to use as little mastery points as possible? Well, this is why. This trinket gives us 1% damage per unspent mastery point, capping out at 200. The damage you are getting from this one is, simply put, broken. You are never going to use all of your mastery points whatever build you choose. There is just no way you need to put points in a Kanabo or Naginata while you are using a katana. Whatever weapon you choose, you will build up that one and not bother to spend mastery points in other weapons. And I'm sure whatever build you end up using with Yasuke, that this trinket is going to be the way to go. The trinket is an award for completing the main story, but what is more important is the fact that you can get the perk much earlier with Naue in Yamato from this Gofun right here, which will then unlock the engraving for Yasuke as well. The mastery point distribution for this build is pretty simple. Max out your samurai tree as much as you can, since every point spent gives you 1% HP. Max out your long katana because it's going to be your main weapon, and get some points into the bow just to get more damage for the ranged attacks. It doesn't really matter how you choose to go with the bow, as you don't use it that often anyway and you get quite a lot of value out of the armor perk as it is. As for abilities, we are going to use Power Dash, Payback and most importantly Battle Cry. Battle Cry is the main focus, as you are going to use it as often as you can, especially when there's a lot of enemies around you, since it will enable you to rip through them within seconds. As I've said before, this build is a beast. It is easy to use, somewhat easy to acquire, and it's broken beyond reason when it comes to raw damage output. The footage you see here is recorded on expert difficulty. I have tested it for quite a while now and I've managed to die just once, and that's just because I hit some oil pots while zapping through enemies. If you have any trouble whatsoever on locating these items, I would recommend going to MapGenie.io, since they have precise locations on every item in the game. I will leave the link in the description below the video. Thanks for watching, that's it for this one. If you found it helpful and if you want to help kickstart this channel, drop a thumbs up, hit that bell icon and subscribe.